Hi, this is Rudy Jones of HamiltonStateBaseball.com. Welcome to the South Carolina College Baseball Recap for Sunday, May the 10th. It's the last Sunday of the regular season, believe it or not, because the NCAA Division I schools all play Thursday through Saturday next week to pick up an extra day's rest in time for the conference tournaments. But anyway, there were 8 games involving state teams played going on Sunday. Let's see what happened. Over at Clemson, Florida State scored 3 runs in the second inning and held on to beat Clemson by a score of 6-3 to take the rubber game of that ACC series. The Seminoles, who are ranked number 14 in the country, improved to 36-15 overall and 17-10 in the ACC. Clemson is 30-22 and 9-18, and I think even if Clemson were to sweep Virginia Tech this coming weekend, I don't think there's any way a team with at 12-18 would get an at-large bid in the NCAA tournament. I think the only way Clemson gets in now is to win the ACC tournament, or maybe, and I don't think they'll do it, if they get to the championship game and lose. But again, I think it's looking bleak for the Tigers to get in. Anyway, for the Tigers today, of course, Jeremy Purified just continues to do great things now that he's back from his injury. He was 3 for 4 today. He had a triple, a run scored, an RBI, and he made a really nice play late in the game to get the third out of the inning and prevent 2 runners from scoring for Florida State. Now, Tigers had a losing record when he was out with his injury, and you wonder what they could have done if he'd have been healthy and was able to play those 23 games that he missed. Anyway, Will Tippett homered for the second straight day, and College of Charleston evened its record at 25-25 by sweeping Elon. Final game score was 11-3 in the Coastal Athletic Association. The Cougars are now 25-25 overall, 15-12 in the CAA, and Elon fell to 19-31 and 10-20. That should do it for Elon's regular season there. For the college, Caden Myers got the save. He went 3 innings, allowed a hit, no runs, and he struck out 3, so that was a nice way to close it out for him. Down in Clinton, Henry Zener tripled, homered, walked twice, and drove in a career-high 5 runs. And USC Upstate took the deciding game of a Big South Conference series at Presbyterian. The final score was 13-4. The the Spartans, sorry, I have an acid flashback every now and then. The Spartans are 27 overall, 25-27, and 13-11 in the Big South. PC fell to 11-41 and 7-14. For Upstate today, Alex Ritzer had a homer, walked 3 times, scored 3 runs, and drove in 2 runs. Also, Charleston Southern took the deciding game. Charleston Southern scored 13 runs in the 6th inning and wrapped up a series sweep of Longwood. The final score was 21-3 in 7 innings. The Buccaneers have clinched back-to-back winning seasons for the first time since 1987-88. Great work for Coach Carl Kuhn and his staff to do that. CSU is now 28-19 overall, 12-9 in the Big South. Longwood fell to 28-23 and 10-11. King Collins had 2 hits. He walked, stole 3 bases, scored twice, and drove in 3 for the Buccaneers. And Blake Edgman was 2 for 3 with a steal, 3 runs scored, and 3 RBI. Elsewhere, Old Dominion ended number 8 Coastal Carolina's streak of 16 consecutive Sun Belt Conference Series wins with a 9-2 win in the rubber game of that series down in Conway today. The Monarchs improved to 27-24 overall, 13-14 in the Sun Belt. Coastal, which is ranked number 8 in the country, fell to 34-17 and 20-7, and they probably feel Southern Mississippi breathing down their necks. Coastal's still ahead, but they just need to finish it up next weekend on the series. Let's see. Also for Coastal, Jackson Weiner had a single, a double, and drove in a run. Down in Columbia, number 19 Alabama's first 3 batters reached, and they all scored, and the Crimson Tide went on to win 7-6 over South Carolina, handing the Gamecocks their 8th straight loss, their school record 30th of the season, and completing the Gamecocks' home schedule. Alabama was up 7-0. Carolina frittered a couple of bases loaded situations, one with no out, one with 1 out, didn't get any runs out of them. Then they came alive in the late innings, got within 7-6 on KJ Scobie's homer, and got another runner on base, but could not do any more after that and lost. Crimson Tide is 35-15 overall, 16-11 in the SEC. Carolina is now 22-30 and 7-20. Let's see, East Tennessee State salvaged the final game of its series at Wofford by scoring 5 runs in the third inning and beating the Terriers by a score of 9-6. For East Tennessee State, they are now 30-19 overall, 10-8 in the SoCon. Wofford fell to 33-18 and 11-7. For the Terriers today, Ben Timlin hit 2 home runs to help account for part of the Terriers scoring. And in the final game involving the state team on Sunday, High Point built a 2-game lead over Winthrop in the Big South Conference standings with an 11-3 win in the series finale there. The Panthers completed a sweep. They went in 1 game behind the Eagles, and they're now 2 games up with 1 weekend of play left. High Point's now 34-17, 15-6 in the Big South. Winthrop is 30-21 and 13-9. Elsewhere, for Winthrop today, Gabe Natividad had a double and drove in 2 runs. Beyond the border in the ACC, number 3 Georgia Tech wrapped up a series sweep at Duke, 14-1. North Carolina, it was in Tech, a series sweep of Duke. Number 2, North Carolina finished its sweep of Pitt, 7-3. California took the rubber game of a series at number 23 Virginia, 8-7. Stanford got a series win over NC State with a 9-5 win at Palo Alto. Wake Forest completed a sweep of Western Carolina in non-conference play, 9-5. Notre Dame beat Oakland 9-3 to complete a non-conference sweep. Virginia Tech outlasted UNC Greensboro 11-9. New Jersey Tech and Boston College split a doubleheader. Tech won the first game 8-7, but the Eagles of Coach Todd Entrenado took the finale 6-3. In the ACC standings, Georgia Tech's up 22, has a 22-5 record. Second place is North Carolina, 2 games back. The Heels do have the tiebreaker over Tech if they should tie. BC and Florida State are at 17-10. Miami's at 15-12. Wake Forest is 14-13. NC State at 13-14, along with Virginia and Virginia Tech. Stanford's at 12-15. Louisville's at 11-16, as is Notre Dame. California's at 10-17. Pitt is at 10-17. Duke's at 9-18, and Clemson is at 9-18. I do not know what the tiebreaker would be if Clemson and Duke finished tied. In the final week of ACC series play, they're all Thursday through Saturday series, as I mentioned. Clemson's at Virginia Tech. Tech's a dangerous team, even though they've got a losing record in the ACC. Georgia Tech's at Boston College. Miami's at Florida State. Notre Dame's at Pitt. North Carolina's at NC State. Stanford's at Cal. Virginia's at Louisville. And Wake Forest is at Duke. How about in the SEC? Number 5, Georgia completed its sweep of LSU at 12-1 down in Athens. Number 21, Florida beat Kentucky 9-6 to win that series 2-1. Number 24, Oklahoma beat number 17, Arkansas 15-10. Number 4, Texas avoided sweep at Tennessee by winning 13-6. Missouri won the series finale over Vanderbilt 4-1. The SEC standings: Georgia's at 21-6 and they've clinched the regular season championship. Texas and Texas A&M are at 16-10. Auburn's at 16-11, as is Alabama. Arkansas is at 15-12, as are Mississippi State and Florida. Ole Miss is 14-13. Oklahoma is 13-14, as is Tennessee. Kentucky's at 12-15. Vanderbilt's at 11-16. LSU's at 9-18. South Carolina's at 7-20, and Missouri is at 6-21. Schedule for next week: South Carolina's at Vanderbilt. Arkansas is at Kentucky. Florida's at LSU. Georgia's at Auburn. Mississippi State is at Texas A&M. Missouri is at Texas. Ole Miss is at Alabama, and Tennessee is at Oklahoma. Looking pretty strong. Like South Carolina's going to finish in 15th place in the regular season standings, and will be playing the number 10 seed. The Gamecocks are 2 games back of LSU, but LSU has the head-to-head, so they have to sweep Vandy and Florida sweep LSU. And they're 1 game ahead of Missouri. Gamecocks need to win at least 1 game or 2 games actually to clinch it, or have Missouri lose a couple of games. If they finish tied, Mizzou would lose the head-to-head tiebreaker because Carolina swept them. That is it for the Sunday scoreboard for South Carolina College baseball. Looking at some other things, the NCAA Division II playoff bracket was announced today. 8 teams in the Southeast Regional and 3 teams from South Carolina are involved: Lander, Francis Marion, and North Greenville. They'll all be playing up in Tigerville in the regional there. The Trailblazers, the number 1 seed in the regional. They'll be playing number 8 Lander. Number 4 North Georgia will be playing number 5 Francis Marion in the other first-round game up in Tigerville. Got the schedule posted. First-round games are on Thursday. There's another pod, if you will, of the Southeast Regional over in Salisbury, North Carolina at Neiman Park. Catawba is the number 2 seed, and they're the hosts there. They'll be playing number 7 Belmont Abbey. And the other first-round game has number 3 Wingate playing number 6 Young Harris. USC Aiken was hopeful of getting a at-large bid. That was not to be. And Lander, I think there's a possibility if they had not won the Peach Belt Conference Tournament Championship, they might have been in danger of missing out because they won it and they were the number 8 seed. But anyway, they're in, and so they're still alive. And again, the regionals at both sites, Tigerville and Salisbury, start on Thursday. Best of 3 could end up on Saturday, could go on to Sunday, and of course that's if weather doesn't interfere. And the 2 regional pod, if you will, champions will meet in a best of 3 super regional at the higher seeded team site the following weekend. The winner goes to the NCAA Division II College World Series in Cary, North Carolina later this month. How about the team of the week for this past week? I picked 3 teams to share the honors: Charleston Southern, Claflin, and Lander. As I mentioned, Charleston Southern has clinched back-to-back winning seasons for the first time in almost 4 decades. Claflin went 4-36 in the regular season. They won the CIAA Tournament Championship Series. It's an invitational or unofficial championship, but they won 3 games in as many days after winning 4 games the entire regular season. So good win for the good week for the Panthers there. Just like Charleston Southern had a good week. They were 4-0, including a win over Charleston Southern and a sweep over Longwood. And then Lander won a game over North Georgia on Monday to win the Peach Belt Tournament Championship, and then they won over Columbus State on Monday. Then they won 2 games over North Georgia over the weekend at Dahlonega to win the Peach Belt Conference Tournament Championship and the regular season and the automatic bid to the playoffs. But anyway, that's that. Also, the Palmetto State baseball team rankings. I'll go with what I've got here. As you can probably tell, I'm not going to do that was the week that was this week. I just found out there was not much response to that, not many viewers, and for me to do it and not have anyone to enjoy it, wasn't good use of my time. But anyway, the Division I rankings this week: Coastal Carolina stayed at number 1, Clemson stayed at number 2, moved Wofford up from number 4 to number 3. They bumped Winthrop. Citadel also moved up a spot from number 5 to number 4. Winthrop dropped down to number 5 from 3rd after they went 0-3 this week on a 4-game losing streak. College of Charleston, I've got at number 6 for the second straight week. Charleston Southern, I moved past South Carolina. The Gamecocks are just not very good right now. Charleston and Gamecocks moved down from 7th to 8th. USC Upstate I kept at 9th, and Presbyterian stayed in 10th place. In NCAA Division II, of course, most of the teams did not play. North Greenville stayed number 1. They went 1-1 this past week. 0-1. Francis Marion is 2nd. Lander is 3rd seed. USC Aiken is 4th. Erskine 5th. Newberry 6th. Benedict 7th. Anderson 8th. Coker 9th. Southern Wesleyan 10th. USC Beaufort 11th. And Claflin 12th. In NCAA and in a NCAA, another bad week for me. NAI and National Christian College Athletic Association, Bob Jones was the only team to play this week that went 1-2. Some of the rankings stayed the same. Spartan Methodist number 1, Columbia International, Morris, Bob Jones, and Voorhees. In the junior college rankings, Florence Darlington Tech lost in the East District Championship Series to Hartford, so the Stingers will miss out on the chance to go out to the Junior College World Series. Still, they stayed number 1 in the state rankings for junior college teams, followed by USC Sumter, Union, Lancaster's 4th, USC Salkehatchie's 5th, and Denmark Tech is 6th. No games involving state teams on the schedule for Monday. There are 5 games on Tuesday. I'll add that up later on. But for now, you can always keep up to date with what's going on in college baseball at South Carolina at PalmettoStateBaseball.com. You can follow me on X under the handle of Palmetto Base. And just let me know if you ever have any suggestions on what I can do other than not do this. I'm open to all suggestions. But anyway, Rudy Jones of PalmettoStateBaseball.com saying, Good night. Jesus loves you.